Hello there and welcome to another edition of Silly Car Showdown. This time taking a look at the Nissan Safari, also known as the Nissan Patrol. Now, last time out we had the crazy BMW i8 V10 thing, and that was all-wheel drive. This is also all-wheel drive, however it's a completely different type of all-wheel drive, as you can probably tell. Also worth noting is this is the only car that I've done so far where I'm not actually sure what I'm going to do with it. You see, part of me wants to keep the standard diesel engine, but let's see what engine swaps we've got. We have got the 2.6 litre injection 6? No, that's inline 6, duh. The Skyline R34 engine, 3.7 litre V6, or the 6.2 litre V8. I think one day we might come back and build ourselves an RB26 Nissan Safari, because that sounds like a hoot, but for now, I think I'm actually going to leave the standard turbo diesel engine in it and actually see what this car can do. Anyways, we will have front aero, we will... Oh, I didn't actually realise you can do that to it. I don't know why you can't... That takes a hell of a lot of weight off. I'll bear that in mind. If I need to strip weight later, I might actually end up just removing the cab on this one, and... I actually kind of think it looks cool without the back bit on, so sod it, we will have that. It actually saves a hell of a lot of weight as well. If I need to save weight, I know what I can do with this vehicle at least. Anyways, of course, this car is very, very low starting PI, so at first nothing's really going to climb, but 265s on the front and probably 265s on the rear. Yeah, that's actually a decent enough tyre width. Wasn't expecting quite that much out of this. Also, hadn't realised I'd actually built one of these before, apparently. I'm not sure when I did that, but okay. If I've got all the parts in this car, apparently... Oh, maybe actually it comes with some homologated parts on it. I don't really know. I don't think I've used this before. Not to my knowledge, anyway. Right, get it on sort of the race suspension, because my god, it needs it. PI not particularly climbing fast as it stands at the moment. That is going to add a lot of weight, but it's an old car, so it'll probably need it, and that's going to bring us down to £3,000. I'm going to keep an mind on that weight reduction stuff. Right, let's see what the stock engine can do. If it doesn't go particularly mental, I might just try and do something else with this. If it only gets like 300 horsepower, we'll probably just stick the RB26 in it and do it that way. Which, to be honest with you, does look like that is going to... That's actually bringing the PI up pretty significantly. What was the Citroen, like A-Class? Yeah, let's chuck an engine in it. And like I said, I think I'm going to go for the Skyline motor, because why not? Although actually the V6 is lighter, but whatever. It doesn't really matter. Alright, I'm assuming... I think it leaves all the drivetrain stuff in it, but yeah. It's not particularly silly if it doesn't have... if it has the standard engine, which I'd love to use because turbo diesel. Then again, there's plenty of other vehicles in this game that have turbo diesels that can be, well, more mental. I'm looking at you, Audi Q7 V10 Plus. We will... Well, V12 TDI. Blech. I'm mixing my Audis up. Although they are kind of all the same, really. Yes, Q7 V12 TDI. I'm coming for you eventually, sir. And you will probably enjoy that one. Anyways, we're building PI now. Excellent. And... turbo power. Yes, 819 horsepower. So far, 827. And... topping us off, we're going to get 842 horsepower out of our Safari. Alright, that's all dandy. Question is, I do want less weight in this vehicle. They don't have to run aero, so I'm kind of tempted to remove that just for the weight advantage we'd get from it. It is a four-wheel drive car, so technically it should have traction, so sod it. And how much... That also removes a lot of weight. Sod it, we're going for a full-on lightweight Nissan here. £2,600. How much... I do kind of want the rigidity, but at the same time, that roll cage looks awful when you don't have the bed on it, so Sod it, I want £2,552 of weight. Yes, our lightweight off-roader Nissan crazy thing is done. Oh dear. I have a feeling this will be one that I might end up rerunning with sensible parts on it, but for now, well, I mean, it's the Silly Car Showdown, so of course, it's got to be silly. Also, apparently the hood still opens, which is strange for an engine swap car. Anyways, 842 horsepower, 708 foot-pound torque, £2,552 of weight, R-Class 817, four-wheel drive, front engine, 54% of the weight is over the front. And, yeah, no aero. Let's see how this goes. Alright, here goes nothing. The Nissan Safari with the crazy Nissan engine, and the rev counter is broken. I mean, that's probably not going to be the only thing that's broken. There is a rollover risk in this. High gearbox. Please tell me this is the race gearbox. Yeah, it is. It's got 6 speeds. Those are some appalling gear ratios. Okay, the BMW i8 was livable with. I don't know why the race gearbox in this is so awfully bad. It doesn't really matter because it gets launched out of corners stupidly quickly. Oh yes, there is a rollover risk in this vehicle. Oh yes. Yeah. I don't want it to end up on its roof. I have a sneaking suspicion it might end up on its roof if I'm not careful at some point. Yeah. I don't know if that was the best idea to forego aero for weight saving, but there we go. Either way, I mean, it does 150 down that back straight as I try and slow down for this first corner. 50.724. It's quicker than the Citroen 2C VTEC. That is a bonus to the crazy Nissan Patrol slash Safari slash whatever it wants to be called this week, depending on country of origin. I have no idea why they went for a Safari, considering the Patrol would have been a much easier car to find. This lap is going to be a dirty one, but I don't think it would have been much quicker anyway. Still forgot to turn the ghosting off because I'm really smart. Actually, sod it. You know what? I'm going to turn it off right now. There. Good. Right, remembered. Oh, power. Hi. Hello, rear end. I really wanted you to meet your best friend, the front end, but, you know, now is not the time. Now is the time. Except, no, it isn't. Please don't actually rotate on me again. It's quick. I will give it that. It's actually a pretty weird car to sum up handling feelings on, because sometimes I'll chuck it out of a corner and it'll sort of go sideways a bit, but the problem is it's still going fairly quickly when it's going sideways, so I'm not actually sure how much it's really affecting the time of this vehicle at all. I do actually think this car is quicker for losing the weight, if that makes any sense at all. It probably doesn't. But, you know, because I've actually shaved the weight off instead of having the downforce, I mean, how much downforce is it going to generate on a truck like this anyway? Because it's a pretty well, it's a pretty large barn-shaped object that probably isn't particularly aerodynamic to begin with. 48.771, about a second off of what the Zenvo was running, so it's not too bad. If this beats the Zenvo, then the Zenvo was truly wretchedly awful, apparently. I wonder what is actually quicker between this and the Zenvo in a straight line. The worst bit is I think this actually handles slightly more, well, slightly better than the Zenvo. It's certainly more alive feeling than the Zenvo was. The Zenvo is just sort of a sea of understeer, whereas this actually does have some handling. Well, I say it has handling, it sort of keeps you excited, at least, which is something, as far as this goes. I forgot to mention this car has 7 laps to set the quickest time it possibly can. 48.698. I'm not actually sure how much more time is going to come off the Patrol. Probably, ironically enough, this might actually be one of the more sensible cars I've built in this series. Well, out of the 3 I've built, this might actually be the most sensible of all of them. I mean, it doesn't drive particularly well. The one thing I am noticing, or rather just popped into my head, one thing that is probably affecting this car's time quite significantly, the fact that it has such sort of long gear ratios really means that the sort of heart of this engine, i.e. twin turbos, doesn't really have a chance to kick in, so it's a bit of a shame. for the patrol. Do not worry about this next lap if it is dirty, because it is still going to count if it does end up being quicken. Whether it will or not, that is entirely up to the Nissan Patrol right now. Not my driving. Nope, not there. Not... I can't speak, I don't care. Yes, not down to my driving at all. It's all about how the Nissan Patrol deals with its predicaments. Keep calling it a patrol. I am sorry if it's irritating you, the fact that I call it a patrol and not a safari. Again, it really is the same vehicle, so it doesn't really matter. Unless it's not the same vehicle, I'm a complete and utter idiot. I didn't actually... I think I did research it, so... yeah. If not, then Wikipedia must be wrong. I mean, it won't be the first time it's wrong. Anyways, final lap, let's go and see what happens with the mighty, mighty patrol. I'd said that about quite aggressively, actually. As soon as the turbos kick in, it turns into a bit of a madman, but before that, it isn't too terrible. Ease it round there. Press the throttle, press the go fast button. Press the brake button. It hasn't fallen over the entire time around here. That is quite the miracle. Really. With the patrol, I was expecting to go wide on that grass and just like clips the rear wheel and just go for cartwheels for days, but nope, that's not happening with the patrol. As we rush to the line, I don't think it's going to go any quicker than any of the previous cars, save for the Porsche. A 48, oh sorry, save for the Citroen. I really can't speak. There we go. I had to make it fall over at some point. A 48.643 is the final time for the pretty darn mental Nissan Patrol. Yeah, if this thing had shorter gear ratios, I bet you any money it could be about 0.5 of a second quicker if it could actually use its turbo. Or at least that's my feelings. That being said, maybe the turbo's not coming on was a help for it, but either way, a 48.643 will put it into 4th place. Yeah, about a second or so slower than the Zenvo, although it is about 4 seconds quicker than the Citroen, but then again, I mean, I could be 4 seconds quicker than the Citroen just by running around this track. Yeah. Whether I should have gone for aero or not, do let me know. What do you reckon? What do you reckon, whether this car would have been quicker with aero or as I run it here today? I'm kind of curious. And as always, if you have more sort of silly cars you want to see being built in this series, please do let me know. As always, my name's been Emile. If you like this sort of general silliness, come check out my channel. There's plenty more of it there. And yeah, thank you all very much for watching. And until next time, farewell.